It's a great day to play, everybody. Welcome on in to the channel.
That was a DJ remixing it into a new song.
I see.
She gives me money when I'm in need.
Whoa.
What?
Whoa.
It's Ray Charles.
Whoa.
What?
Whoa.
What?
Friend indeed.
Okay. I was like, what? What happened? Did I break it?
You broke it all. Today, welcome on. Oh, wait. Do we do the whether it's your first time here, you were joining us, thank you for being here with us today. Love, appreciate it. Always welcome you on the channel, and you are.
Enough.
It's too early. I got no sleep. I also drank way too much caffeine last night. I think that's part of like the hangover thing that I'm feeling today.
Yeah.
Because I was up really, really late, and I don't normally drink that much caffeine at night. Like I generally do it earlier in the morning, but I had like 2 Coke Zeros, and then I had a double espresso. But like that was like at like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, and then I got home at like midnight, and it was. Yeah.
I miss that. Like I don't know if that's part of the culture there, but definitely part of the meeting and talking about stuff with important people culture. There was always coffee all day. It was so awesome.
Yeah. It just I'm not used to that stuff at night though anymore, man. It's
Well, yeah.
Oof, woke up
You'll be
rough
okay.
this morning. But today we are going to be doing Palagi. This has been a really highly requested song on our reaction request form in the description down below if you want to make requests. Disclaimer, we obviously are already familiar with the song, seeing how one of our artists actually did a cover to this, and so we spent a lot of time working on this one. But this one was a newer version that he put out with KZ and a live session that people are like, if you guys like this song, you guys have to hear this version. It's an awesome version. So that's what we're going to be doing today, and I hope that you guys enjoy it. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you already haven't, and if you haven't, check out our brand new reality show, Finding Phoenix, which documents the creation of our brand new girl group that is out on this channel now.
The stage is set. The spotlight is waiting. Witness these aspiring young performers rising from the ashes, fueled by their dreams and GKDlabels' expert guidance.
That's what we want.
Your flow isn't really that smooth.
Hearing you and watching you perform makes me feel like some kind of joy.
Only the fiercest will soar to new heights. With the support of the best in the industry, these stars are ready to ignite their journey. Who will blaze the trail and rise as the next P-pop sensation? Join their journey and witness their rise to stardom. Catch the action on Finding Phoenix, only on CLTV 36.
And are you ready for this?
And you spell Phoenix F-I-N-I-X.
Yeah.
Because people have been saying like, oh, where do we find it? I can't find it. You're spelling it wrong.
To be fair, even if you spell it wrong, it shows up.
Does it?
It does show up, yeah. It's here in the Philippines, it does. Maybe not in the U.S., I don't know, but in the Philippines, it shows up even if you spell it wrong. And it's the first thing on this channel. So like literally, if you click on GKDlabels, it is the video, the main video at the top of the channel. So
okay.
If you can't find it, you're not trying. Yeah, you're not trying.
Yeah.
Well, by the time this comes out, there'll be 4 videos out.
True. Ooh,
But
I can't wait.
Let's.
When does that come out?
Well, for us at this point in time, it comes out tomorrow. For the viewers, it'll already be out.
Oh,
I know.
I can't wait. I haven't seen it yet.
It's good. I saw it. I screened it. It's good.
Oh,
It's good.
okay.
But all right, let's do it.
Kahit Kahit san man maparating, hanap pa rin ay iyong lambing. At kahit ano man ang mangyari, sa'yo pa rin uuwi. Palagi. Di man araw-araw na nakangiti, ilang beses na rin tayong humihindi. Di na mapilang ang ating mga tampuhan, away ba't di natin di na namamalayan? Eto tayo, ngunit sa huli palagi babalik pa rin sa yakap mo hanggang sa huli. Palagi pipiliin kong maging sa'yo, ulit-ulitin man nais kong malaman mo. Iyo ako, palagi.
Man, two things. One thing that actually really stuck out to me right at the beginning was the acoustic guitar was placed so well in there, and EQ.
Yeah.
I really like the sound of the acoustic in this one. His voice is just so smooth, and I think that this is also one of those. I think this is a really great song of like a lot of like the OPM type songs here are based off of, you know, kind of like older style music from like the 80s and 90s from the West. And this is, I think, like one of the really good songs that like takes a much more modern approach to it, and is like, when I think of like when we came here, we're like, what is pop music that the rest of the world would actually listen to and enjoy as well? Like the melody choices in songs like this are just so phenomenal, but ones that like I would have never thought of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the first time I heard this song, it was so good, but I was like, I would have never heard that melody choice at all. You know,
They're really good at that. Like especially in all the newer OPM, like there's a lot of stuff that you're like, where'd this come from?
yeah,
And it's like, I don't know. And when we first started listening to and reacting to Filipino music, we did a lot of OPM, and even a lot of the older stuff. It's like a lot of things come out of left field, and there's these melodies that are like just so catchy that, like you said, would have never thought of. But that's the difference between going to different places. I mean, you know what I mean? Like if you listen to like music from India, you're like, why you know, we would never have done that. And I think that's one of my favorite parts about have gone there, and then also just being a part of this whole thing, is that we get to experience something, we get to experience a new taste and bring that into us that most people in the US will never be able to do it the way that we are fortunate enough to be able to, because we're immersed in it.
Yeah. And I think what makes it really unique when we look at it from the Philippines, though, is like they're influenced by the same music that we were influenced by. Where like different parts of the world aren't necessarily influenced by like Western music. So it's interesting to see like the diversion path of like, hey, this is the same exact music that I listened to growing up. You listen to the same exact music, but then how did we like part from there to create different versions of pop? And like that is one of the coolest things about it, is like it's like a test case of like, this is what nature versus nurture, right? Like what
right.
happens, like giving the same exact songs and what happens to that. And it's very, very cool. And I love the melody of this one. All right, let's keep going.
Kung balikan man ang hirap, luhat lahat, ikaw ang paborito kong desisyon na. Pag napaligiran ng ingay at ng gulo, di ko pagpapalit ngiti mo sa mundo. Oh, eto tayo
Sa huli, palagi babalik pa rin sa yakap mo. Hanggang sa huli, palagi pipiliin kong maging sa'yo. Ulit-ulitin man, nais kong malaman iyo ko.
What a cool take on this. Because I've heard the original. We've heard so many covers of this. It's such a cool take on this song that makes it sound almost like a completely brand new song. Like it doesn't even seem like the same song anymore.
Yeah. Dude, we stopped for me, we stopped listening to, or America stopped doing harmonies together live, or stopped doing harmonies that were like noticeable harmonies.
Yeah.
They're always just mixed into the background. A lot of them are synthesized harmonies mixed in the background. Like, it wasn't until we started doing this stuff in the Philippines 2 years ago, 3 years ago, that I got to hear it again. And like, dude, it's just like it turns a song into a song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it gives it such a good flavor and taste. And this is another thing. This is a completely different thing, but the way that they're performing this together, and like they're looking into each other's eyes as they're performing, and like they're it's almost like it's a musical or a play that they're doing. You've done that in the past. You've done stuff like this. You played Danny Suitcoat or whatever in Greece.
Danny Suitcoat. What's wrong with you?
But like for me, I've never done anything like this, and it's so uncomfortable to even think about.
Yeah.
Being 2 feet away from somebody and just singing into their eyes.
Yeah.
Like.
Okay, so fun story about playing Danny Zuko. This is a completely, hopefully, Danny Suitcoat. So there's a scene in there where there's like a car makeout scene essentially that we did in the show, and at the time I was dating a girl who was also in the show, but her best friend was playing Sandy.
Mary Magdalene. Oh.
What are you?
I don't know the show that good.
Was playing Sandy, and so
Gotcha.
So like, this was the teacher was a little awkward, but she was like, "All right, you guys got to do this now," and like we actually had to like make out. She was like, "All right, you guys are gonna do this. You guys got to act or whatever," and she like made everybody get out of the theater so like we could be like, she was like, "All right, you guys, so you can get comfortable with this. Like everybody leave first. Like get comfortable." And I remember that my girlfriend at the time like went and she like stayed off to the side and like just like was there, and I just remember like looking over and she was there, and like I just felt so. It's one of those moments where it's like it's acting and like you get used to it. Like there's no feelings involved, but like it was really awkward to get done and like look over and your girlfriend's sitting there and it's like, "Hey, I just made out with your best friend."
Dude, whenever I watch actors, I always think about that. Like, man, how do you go home after that day of work? You know what I mean? Like super weird.
You turn it off, and don't get me wrong. There's been times that like you perform with people that you are attracted to, and that makes it I feel like honestly that makes it harder when acting, like because it's one thing to be like just attracted to somebody, but like if you actually like somebody, like that makes
Right.
it harder for me than like normally when I approach it and like I don't really know the person or that I've been working with. I've never felt awkward in those situations. I've only felt awkward in like places where like I actually like had feelings for somebody and then had to perform with them. Like that's
Right.
actually more awkward.
Yeah, because then you're
you can't
like,
turn it off. Yeah, it gets weird then.
Ugh. Yeah, I'm
So,
not an actor.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
is
like that.
it is a different skill, but like yeah, the amount of eye contact here is like it's believable, right? Like the way that
Yeah.
she looks at him throughout a lot of this, especially early on when he was just like singing, is like she doesn't break eye contact. Like it feels so real.
Yeah,
know,
I couldn't.
so-
I couldn't. I'd be like, don't look at me.
Stop
Don't look
looking
at
me
me.
in the eyes. Anyway, all right, let's keep going.
Sa pagdating ng ating pilak at ginto,
Diamante may abutin, ikaw pa rin
aking bituin, nagtatangi kong dalangin hanggang sa huling sigaw.
Again, would have never heard that.
Yeah.
So I got a little bit more.
Nagtatangi kong dalangin hanggang sa huling sigaw.
Yeah, I wanted it to go a whole step down from there, like where I heard it to where it came
Yeah.
in.
No. 100%.
Man,
Hanggang sa huling sigaw.
so cool, so cool.
sa huli. Palagi babalik pa rin sa yakap mo.
Mahal sa huli, palagi pipiliin kong maging sa'yo. Ulit-ulitin man, nais kong malaman mo, iyo ako.
Ah,
Dude. I mean,
so good.
so the OPM scene has such mastery in vocals. It has mastery in the studio musicians. Like OPM is so good. Like every time we hear an OPM song, the drummer's amazing, the guitarist is amazing, the vocalists are amazing. If that kind of mastery would come to P-pop, like P-pop would dominate the pop scene in general everywhere.
Yeah,
Like imagine some of those that line of thinking when it comes to those melodies or that level of guitar playing being done on a record, on like a P-pop record. Like as these musicians like either transition into being studio musicians, or if they transition into possibly being producers, or maybe the money runs out and they can't, do what they're still doing. Like, think about going into the P-pop sphere and lending some of that talent and some of that know-how into the P-pop sphere. Because, dude, like, if this kind of mastery was in P-pop, like, it'd be over.
yeah. But so and this is where this is where the problem starts, though. So we've spent so much time talking to different types of industry execs, and these are more label rep type people versus like the management company type people that have been in the music business here for very, very long and know all the biggest names in the music industry and have, come up in, not only the OPM scene, but in kind of like the importing of bringing some of like the biggest names artists here, Demi Lovato, Jonas Brothers, like stuff like that, and putting on big shows and bringing in other foreign acts and consistently across the board, even for those that like don't really work with one another, we hear the same thing over and over again. Nobody thinks that there isn't enough talent. Like everybody's like, there's an abundance of talent when it comes to our artists. What is missing though is there's not enough production talent out there. So even like, yeah, you have some of the best, so you have some of like the best guitarists, you have some of the best stuff, but putting that all together is still the missing piece. And then also, you see the same names on a lot of these songs. So you have to remember like how large the Philippines is in terms of population and how there's just not enough. There's not enough of the studio musicians that are to that level. And I think what ends up happening is this happens in the US to an extent, but because of the size of the music industry, you have to branch out. You do see a lot of the same names on like the biggest artists of all time out there, right? You see it on, every Katy Perry song, every Beyonce song. Like you're going to see the same names across the board.
Right.
But there's a lot of room for up and comers where they break into the scene because of their talent in terms of like production or mixing or being like in the studio, because everybody's looking for more people. Like nobody closes themselves off. And I have heard from a lot of people, what happens is like you always work with the same people over and over and over again here. Mm-hmm. Instead of ever like branching out. And what happens then is like, yeah, okay, you might have a great person that you've been working with for 15 years, but you've never expanded out to train the next generation of person. And so like you're not building essentially your roster. Right. And like that is definitely something that's missing here from a production standpoint. The thing that we've consistently heard is like, you're right. You need that, and they need to lend it to the other genres, but there's not enough of them to be able to lend. And then the second aspect of that is that a lot of the music that's being produced in P-pop, people don't want to spend the money on making it good enough. It's the mediocrity of, that's a good enough. It'll be fine. And they're not spending the extra on getting the better studio guitarist in or the better producer in or the better mixer in, because that's going to cost an extra $2,000, and they don't want to spend that because, I mean, there's all kinds of reasons. That's a whole podcast episode we did. So
right. I just keep thinking like how cool it would be to be in a studio and me and you not being the only ones that are like, let's try to do the minor ninth instead. Let's just see what happens. It might sound like crap, but let's see what happens. And then actually know how to execute that.
And have somebody else that knows how to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. There's definitely people here, right? And we've worked with some studio people. It's just getting all those pieces together is difficult. And it takes resources. At the end of the day, it's a money thing and it's a resource thing, and then it's a time thing of dedicating to the next generation to give them the skills.
The next generation is, unless the industry just says no and tries to kill P-pop for some reason, the next generation is P-pop. Like P-pop's coming.
From a global standpoint, it's got the best legs to be able to go global. Right.
And if we want any kind of money in the music industry at all to come from somewhere else, so like that's like that, we're talking tourism and things like that, like things that can really take the entire everywhere. You want to reach out and try to find that stuff,
The stage is set. The spotlight is waiting. Witness these aspiring young performers rising from the ashes,
Fueled by their dreams.
and GKD Labels' expert guidance.
That's what we want.
Your flow isn't really that smooth,
Hearing you and watching you perform makes me feel like some kind of like, joy.
Only the fiercest will soar to new
heights. With the support
of the best in the industry. These stars are ready to ignite their journey.
Who will blaze the trail and
Rise as the next P-pop sensation. Join their journey and witness their rise to stardom. Catch the action on Finding Phoenix, only on CLTV 36.
Yeah, K-pop has changed Korea. Like 3% plus of the Korean GDP is coming in every year from K-pop, and there's a lot of kind of this mentality, I think, of like, oh, well, we don't care if the rest of the world. It's like, but you should, because it's going to bring a lot of money into the country and a lot of money into that you can then reinvest in your favorite things and making the lives of everybody here better. So
Yeah, how many people out there love music and are like, man, it'd be really cool to have a job in music. I just don't know anybody, and there's not really a whole lot of that around. There can be. There can be.
We came here because we believe that within the next 10, 15 years, that if the infrastructure was put in place, that the Philippines could be the music capital of the world. It could be a hub for people that want to get a start in music instead of going to New York or going to LA or Chicago or Atlanta or Nashville, because of how super saturated those markets are, that you would fly into like these hubs in the Philippines and like you'd get your start here and then export it to the rest of the world. And it could be. It needs time and it needs work. And we're here to take that on. We're here to help with that. So
Yeah, but it's got the talent. I mean, dude, these
talent's here.
this song, I mean,
So good.
Meh.
Oh. All right. Anyway, guys, I hope that you guys enjoyed this. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you would like to also request something like this, don't forget to use our reaction request form down below. And if you haven't checked out our brand new reality series, Finding Phoenix, documenting the start of our brand new girl group, please make sure to check that out on this channel. Just click on the little GKD labels button, and it'll be the first video that shows up right at the top. And yeah, we got to give these folks a beautiful, nice emoji code.
I'm going to say cat because my cat is scratching my leg.
All right. I'm going to go with train. Don't know why. Just
Cat train.
cat train.
All aboard.
All aboard the cat train. Nobody told you that they love you today. Please don't forget that we love you. You appreciate it. Always welcome here on this channel, and you are enough. And last but certainly not least,
It was a great day to play. Yeah.
thanks, guys. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Goodbye.